So, after selecting Zion Johnson in the first, I immediately acknowledged, okay, well, that's a position of need, so I should be happy about that. Even though it was a little bit hard to kind of get your blood pumping about a guard 17th overall. Now, they didn't have another pick until the third round where they selected J.T. Woods. On paper, athletically, he looks like a stud. Runs a 4.36. He's 6'2". He had 6 interceptions. He seems like a true free safety. I'm worried about his tackling. Now, I believe his tackling grade was about a 46 something, if I remember right off the top of my head, which we already kind of struggled against tackling in the open field last year, so I'm a little bit worried about that. Now, considering, even though I liked the Zion Johnson pick, there was definitely other guards I liked that were maybe just a tick or two right underneath where I ranked Zion Johnson. And those guys ended up going in the second, and then some even in the third. So because I thought, even though I liked the Zion Johnson pick, I gave the overall pick a B, a real solid B. But because I thought it was a little bit of a reach, I ranked it more of like a C+. I'll give it a C+, because I'm a homer. That's what I was thinking. And that's also factoring in J.T. Woods and his discrepancies in the tackling department. Now, day 3 came. First pick in the 4th, they select running back Isaiah Spiller. Okay? Now, I wanted another running back too. So, I was happy with this pick. Now, I saw his 40-yard dash time was about a 4.6, and I was like, eee. But as soon as you turn on the tape, you realize, what do you realize? That you can't ignore the one cut, get upfield, no nonsense type of run style. He averaged, 5.5 yards per carry. Now, that's in the SEC. Okay? That's against Alabama, Georgia, LSU, the list goes on. Auburn. There were so many good defenses in that conference year in, year out that we all know what that means. 5.5 yards per carry in the SEC means something. Okay. Now, he might be slow in a 40-yard dash, but how often are you running a straight line in the NFL, right? Usually not for more than like 10 yards at a time. Which is actually why they do the 10-yard split, 20-yard split, and such when they do the 40-yard dash. His body control and ability to not lose any momentum in that one cut is lethal. So I really like it. I think he'll complement Austin Eckler very well. And, it also bodes well when you pick in the top 20, you select an offensive lineman. Now, they then ended up getting, later on, Jamari Salyer. Okay? Now, this guy might end up being the steal of the draft, to be honest. I really love that pick, and this pick made me love the Zion Johnson pick even more. Because not only are you addressing the right side of the line, you're now doubling down. You're doubling down and saying, you know what? Last off season, I should say, they started to revamp the entire offensive line. And they did well. They got a center, a left guard, a left tackle, but why finish there, right? But instead of stopping at Zion Johnson that they could have done, they ended up getting who could potentially be the steal of the draft. Now, this guy, I don't know how he slid that far. A lot of people were asking me, well, there had to be a reason why he slid, right? I found this number really interesting. Jamari had an 86.3 pass blocking grade. That's second overall highest SEC tackle in the whole conference with an 86.3. That was even higher than Cross, who was a first-round tackle, and just a tick under Kennard, okay, who ended up going to Kansas City. Yeah. So basically, the reason why I like all these picks complementing each other is, and the reason why I came around towards the end of the draft is because now that I see who all the selections are, and I see what they're trying to do. That's basically why it took me so long till the end of day 3 before I put it together. Say, okay, I see the direction they're trying to take. The direction they're trying to take is they're trying to become a more physical offense. We already know Herbert can bomb it 80 yards downfield. We already know about all the Mike Williams diving catches. We know Herbie can do that. But think about how, and this is key here, think about how many fourth downs they went for it last year. It was I don't remember the number off the top of my head, but I remember it was an absurd number. 4th and 1, 4th and inches, 4th and 2. But why not become a more physical offense by adding those interior big boys up front, some of which you can even slide outside, and then add another running back to help spell Eckler, who's a more physical presence. So let's become more physical and avoid even having to go for it on 4th down as many times as we did. Is Brandon Staley going to keep going for it? I have no doubt. I have no doubt that'll change his fortitude in those decision-making processes. But becoming more physical, getting that extra yard and a half each time, you could potentially cut down how many times you have to make that decision by at least 30 to 50% if you're accomplishing what you're trying to do and all those picks, live up to being able to produce. So I like what they did. I'm sorry it took me till day 3 to come around. Some of you even had the burden of having to listen to me whinge in the meantime. Some of the other teams in the AFC had great drafts too. A lot of them added to the defensive side. I know the Raiders did, the Chiefs did. So the fact that we bulked up the offensive line to help protect against that is even better. Even better. Physicality will win this game. Alright guys, make sure you like the video, subscribe, give me a comment, do what you do. Follow me on Facebook, on Instagram. If there's any other topics you want to be discussed, I'm all ears. Let me know.